Welcome to the Texas Goat Radio Show. I am your host, Matorius. This is part 2 of the 1742 live stream by Owen Benjamin.
To be full of despair. It's like, why? Because I want to be with my own. It's like the irony is Christianity is way more of like a nation-destroying globalist. They brag all the time about all their different races. Like when I went to that mega church with Stephen Crowder that one time, they highlighted all the Filipinos and the Indonesians, and they made it like it was their virtue to just interbreed and destroy their own nation. I was just like, at the time, I didn't see it.
That's how perverted he is. Just because there's other races there does not necessarily mean that they are promoting sexual intercourse between them. I'm not saying yes or no to that. I'm just saying that is a perversion. That is a perverted outlook.
But it's just so interesting how to maintain your race and your culture, you have to acknowledge it. You have to be racist, not a supremacist, but racist. And Islam does, and this, I'm not coming from the point of view of a Muslim. I'm coming from the point of view of a utilitarian, which I know makes...
Of a cult leader. Someone who has their own gospel, the Owen Benjamin gospel, the Owenology, the Bearology, the Beartology, the castle that was built upon the investment scheme of 2020 Beartaria.
Kind of like one of those Chinese fucking...
The predatorial behavior of Owen Benjamin, the failed comedian.
Weirdos. I get it. Like I'm not proud of my utilitarian look on the world, but I just look at what works. And, if you want to keep your nation and your bloodline and your heritage and your posterity, this is what I wrote when I tweeted this out. You got to acknowledge it exists. Or else you're going to get, your posterity is going to drip out of a guy's ass. That's what I wrote. I was very graphic.
There are grown people that listen to this dude and sincerely take for what he says. Seriously. The same dude that just said what he just said. The posterity will drip out of someone else's anus. The homosexual pornography of Owen Benjamin's gospel.
And by the way, this is not a pitch.
If you are anywhere, if you're a serious Muslim and you think that Owen Benjamin is a decent mouthpiece for your religion, there's something wrong with you. That is insane. I would be heavily offended if he ever said, "Oh yeah, Matorius, the Texas Go Radio Show is something worth listening to." I would consider that to be a death sentence as far as respect is concerned.
For Islam, I actually talked a lot about how Christianity used to that there are still Christians that are very, very based and see all this stuff, And Christianity, as practiced by the Bible, would work. It's the religion of it. The Coldplay concerts, the robed men. And Islam is very capable.
The Coldplay concerts, he used to play Coldplay, and he's told stories about that. That makes no sense.
Too. And in the past, we talked about how the Islamic Empire got so rich, and they got rich slowly through using no usury, no riba, no haram. And slowly they got so rich that they started ignoring the law. They started drinking wine, acting like fruitcakes. They started having gold plates instead of warriors, and they got wiped by Christians. It's this pendulum. It's like whoever, from a utilitarian, autistic point of view, who does believe in God. But
what's interesting is that Islam, Christianity, and Judaism all have one common Father God. But they don't call him Father God. That's one of the reasons why Judaism and Islam don't agree with Christianity. It's because we consider ourselves adopted, grafted into the family of God. The children, the sons and daughters of Father God. And they don't.
Just can't quite connect to religion. I wish I could more.
But they can't deny the power of Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Or at least the Muslims can't. That's why they say, well, at least we understand that he's at least a prophet. It's because there is power. And if you want to see something really cool, look into the Jews that have actually converted to Christianity and the Muslims that's converted to Christianity.
There's like a block. The pendulum seems to swing to whoever is actually following this obvious law. And you can kind of discern the law, but, having faith in your prophet is a strength, in my opinion. And I was raised in such a secular, gay little world that it's very hard for me to do that. And I'm just being honest. But anyway, so when Christendom got super...
It has nothing to do with his raising at this point. It's his choice to be self-serving. His choice to sell his whatever he is to the highest bidder. That's why it's hard for him to do that. Because in his head, he is God. He is the king of Bertaria. And so you can't humble yourself if that's your mentality.
Rich and super gay, it got conquered by the Muslims. Conquered. And they ruled Europe, they ruled the Middle East, they ruled Africa, they ruled sections of Asia. And when they conquered, it was like a merciful conquering because everyone was so rich and gay and lying and but then they got rich and gay. You see? That's why I wasn't shitting on Christianity.
I don't know much about what he's talking about with it was a merciful ruling. I know enough about history to know that's probably horse hockey. The majority of the people that ever rule usually rule with an iron fist throughout history.
Today, and I actually was making sure that he knew I wasn't representing Christianity because I'm seen as a very controversial character and I'm not speaking on behalf of Christians or anything like that, but I am, rural. I consider myself fairly Christian. I don't know. I don't want to get into that whole argument, but, with the right-wing rural America type, and if practiced properly, like if you protect your women, you don't engage in vice, you don't take out a bunch of loans you can't pay, you don't lie, you pray to God, you have faith, you have all that stuff, like you win. You can call it Christianity or Islam. I know that sounds utilitarian, but it's like there's obviously a way where you win. And that way comes from genuine faith. And so it's almost like a behavior, like bees.
My question is, what do you mean win? What does he mean by win? Because that's the difference between if he is speaking for Islam or whatever that is. Christian, the people that have faith, we're not of this world, we're not for this world. We'll win eventually, but we're not here to win, really. Now that sounds strange, but yeah, I'm not.
You're a decentralized behavior where the way you act will create these beautiful honeycombs without a plan, like without a centralized authority. And so as pendulum swing, right now the pendulum is obviously swinging towards Islam, obviously. Birth rate, wealth acquisition, so this is what I wrote. And someone said, Muslim, a fucking pedophile. The age of consent for marriage in America until 1910 was 7.
No, it wasn't. It was for the majority of the United States. We just looked that up. And I did check. The first couple of things it picked up was Wikipedia, but then I checked other sources, and the general consensus was that it was around 10 for the majority of the United States, and it was 7 for Delaware.
Okay, that's how everybody used to be. So just get off the fucking high horse, which is funny because I may buy a high horse. I was thinking about getting a horse, probably too much work, but at 6'8", 260, I would require a very high horse. And I want you to know that sometimes a lot of your audience is Christian. I realize that, Dan. I don't care. I'm telling you what I think. You want authentic? I'm authentic. I'm not here to stroke you or make you feel good about yourself.
I'm not here to stroke you. I'm not here to stroke your ego is the terminology he was looking for. But for obvious reasons, he said, I'm not here to stroke you.
I think Christianity, as taught in the Bible, is great. Unfortunately, I don't think a lot of you guys are...
That's what's bizarre about him is I don't think he has ever read the New Testament. The only thing that I've ever heard, and this is not me casting judgment, this is going on based on what he has said. He said the only Bible that he's ever read was a children's Bible, which, I mean, sure, that's good, but...
practicing any of the laws or working at it at all. And that's why you're weak and gay and sad and being conquered. Okay? And I'm not here to, make you feel good, Dan. If you don't want to super chat me, go fuck yourself. Go to Steven Crowder, the divorced, lying, still on Twitter, the divorced.
So Dan just said the majority of your audience is Christian, and this is his response. If you don't want to super chat me, then go
lying homosexual sends pictures to other guys of his dick. If that makes you feel good, then get the fuck out of here, Dan. Okay, anyway.
That's insane. That right there is insane. We are less than 15 minutes in, and all Dan said was, the majority of your listeners are Christian, and this is his response.
The laws or working at it at all. And that's why you're weak and gay and sad and being conquered. I want you to know that sometimes a lot of your audience is Christian. I realize that, Dan. I don't care. I'm telling you what I think. You want authentic? I'm authentic. I'm not here to 826.
I'm just going to slow this down.
I would require a very high horse. And I want you to know that sometimes a lot of your audience is Christian. I realize that, Dan. I don't care. I'm telling you what I think. You want authentic? I'm authentic. I'm not here to stroke you or make you feel good about yourself. I think Christianity, as taught in the Bible, is great. Unfortunately, I don't think a lot of you guys are practicing any of the laws or working at it at all. And that's why you're weak and gay and sad and being conquered. Okay? And I'm not here to make you feel good, Dan. If you don't want to super chat me, go fuck yourself. Go to Steven Crowder. The divorced, lying, still on Twitter. The divorced, lying homosexual sends pictures to other guys of his dick. If that makes you feel good, then get the fuck out of here, Dan. Okay.
All right, there's a couple of things. I'm going to replay this a couple times. If you don't want to see it, I understand. But I want to point out a couple of things that I noticed while he was talking the way he was, saying what he was saying. Notice his breathing. Notice what he says and how he says it. And the forcefulness of his speech whenever he is speaking vulgarity and harshly, compared to the few sentences that he says that he thinks that the Bible, Christianity and the Bible is good.
Guys are practicing any of the laws or working at it at all. And that's why, or make you feel good about yourself. And I want you to know that sometimes.
Yeah, pay attention to how he says what he says and what he's saying whenever he's saying it. There's way more force and faith in what he's saying in certain points compared to whenever he's saying something that he really doesn't believe. I think it's obvious what he believes and what he doesn't believe, and whenever he's saying something just to say it, just to save face.
A lot of your audience is Christian. I realize that, Dan. I don't care. I'm telling you what I think. You want authentic? I'm authentic. I'm not here to stroke you or make you feel good about yourself. I think Christianity, as taught in the Bible, is great. Unfortunately, I don't think a lot of you guys are practicing any of the laws or working at it at all.
I think there's a difference between the last half of that and the first half of that. And then there's a big difference between what he just said then.
And that's why you're weak and gay and sad and being conquered. Okay? And I'm not here to make you feel good, Dan. If you don't want to super chat me, go fuck yourself. Go to Steven Crowder. The divorced, lying, still on Twitter. The divorced, lying homosexual sends pictures to other guys of his dick. If that makes you feel good, then get the fuck out of here, Dan. Okay, anyway.
So this has a whole lot of energy the same way as, because this is 13 minutes and 39 seconds. The live stream 1666, this has got a lot of the same energy. Starting off kind of positive and then almost says the same thing. If you're not going to give me money, then go F yourself.
So I said, this is a great convo. The cycle of wealth and power and corruption is fascinating. The Islamic Empire...
You know what? Let's just go ahead and do...
Hey, look, it's your magical giant has returned. That's me. Owen the magical giant plays piano by the tree. Hey, everyone. It's your magical giant. Good morning, y'all. We have
Okay, notice how sickly sweet that was. Now, the reason why, because it's the same energy. Within 15 minutes, It goes from that to
Oh yeah, you go find Muslim Hill or somewhere else. Oh no, go watch Steven Crowder go Own the Left. I'm watching people fall back into the malaise. You know what's gonna happen? This shit's gonna hit the fan again. They're gonna come fucking running back. And that's it. I don't need the sympathy. In the chat, people are like, oh, I gave you a... Keep it. I don't give a fuck. One, entropy. We used to have a page this long every fucking day. Well, Jim Bob revealed that you hate the Lord. Fuck you and the Lord. Oh, fuck the Lord. Yeah, watch.
Yeah. And so there's Owen Benjamin. That's a good example of his anger, of his disdain for Christianity, of anything that is true, that doesn't just flatter him and give him money and just pretty much worship at the altar of the throne of Owen Benjamin. If it doesn't do that, then it's not anything that he wants to be a part of. This is the Texas Goat Radio Show, and I'm your host, Pretorius. As always, till next time.